welcome to the Uprooted podcast. Today we have a special love and hip hop style reunion without the drama. No drama. We've been talking about dating in the Habesha community. We got the guys' perspective, we got the girls' perspective, and then we went on live. And when I tell you the comment section was going in, I literally watched it back my goodness, people was in their feelings. I didn't think it was this crazy out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So
why wouldn't I? What do you mean?
Nigga. That's not her.
It don't matter. And I would expect the same respect for me if it was the other way around.
Guys, would you be opposed to your sister, whoever, getting to know those guys, one day dating them?
Okay. So I'll start it off. First, you said, yeah, that's crazy. You said, actually, Nebs, I gotta let you go first, man. I gotta let you go first.
Sally got him speechless.
Yes, sir, I'm back at it. The reason why I was stuck before was because I thought you said, check all your niggas, Sally. I thought that's what you said, my sister, check all my niggas. I'm like, first off, yeah, we're not doing plural, my nigga. We're doing singular. You feel me? If she were to check my niggas, she'd check one of my niggas. You feel me? One of my niggas. And second of all,
Rahela, we're not going to use Love and Hip Hop as a case study. All right, my dog?
I'm just saying. That's exaggerated, obviously.
What do you mean? It's a real story.
I touched on it a little earlier, but how does everyone actually feel about long distance dating? Because I think that keeps coming up too. If I'm thinking about the matchmaking, if I'm thinking about Gemini app, where it's nigga, you looking at the US, you looking at Europe, you're looking at all these places. So how do you feel about long distance?
I feel mixed emotions about it because I know someone that was talking to someone long distance and they were tripping about it because you want that physical aspect, you want that I want to be laid up with you, I want to talk to you, you're that's just who you are, that's natural. But I feel that, but I feel also if you are in a long distance relationship, you're getting to know that person, the ups, insides and outsides of them before you're actually intimate with them. So I kind of like it, but I kind of don't, because you're forced to get to know this person before you get physical. So that's the upside of it, and then downside is when you're gonna have to keep flying back and forth to see each other. So personally, if I had to choose, I would probably say no. Could I make it work? Yes, but I'd probably rather not. Short and simple.
I would say, obviously, there's a benefit and a disbenefit to it. If you're already in a good position, if you got a nigga who's in a good position in his life, right? He has the job that he's desired. He's making the money that he wants to, right? And he says, I want to commit myself to a long distance relationship because I found that person. At that point, there shouldn't be an issue, right? Because what he can do is, he has the money, he has the time, he has an open schedule, right? He can open up his schedule, be able to go visit, his woman, every 1, maybe 2 months, whatever it be, right? But he's capable of having a relationship with her, even through a long distance relationship, if that makes sense. You feel me? A two-way relationship. So I believe that there isn't an issue with it as long as you understand what you need to do in order to be successful through it.
Go ahead, Nebs.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to, but I want a Habesha woman. I want a Habesha wife. So if that's part of the deal, I guess it just is. I've been in a long distance relationship before. It was straight. I don't really fuck with it like that, but it was cool. It's not the end of the world for me. And I also am I did some reflection, and I'm pretty sure it's kind of because at least partly the type of nigga I am. I don't want to, but again, if it's the girl, I'm doing it. You know what I'm talking about? If that's the one, I'm for sure doing it.
Well, Hano, let me touch on your part, because about the money and stuff. I think for example, I have a friend of mine that's long distance with her boyfriend, and it's it's difficult, especially if it's not you meet each other apart first. But on the opposite end, if you guys actually meet one another in person and then the relationship, because you guys live in 2 different places, it's really hard to build that foundation of your relationship, just because you're not able to date like that, you know, go out to eat and stuff, only like when you guys see each other. And then when you guys, let's say, fight or get into an argument, it's even worse because, you know, you don't even have that person with you there to like pull up and be like, all right, let's talk about this, babe, or let's figure this out. So it causes more strain on a relationship. I know for me personally, like kind of like what Nevi said, I wouldn't want it. But let's say if, you know, I'm really vibing with that person, I can really see a future with them, I wouldn't mind giving it a try. But ultimately, I think I would want somebody that's like here or close to me, just because I really would like to build that relationship and see you, you know, all the time, and then do stuff with you as well. But it's really difficult, like having that foundation with long distance relationship, and really because, and plus, like if you're in different time zones, it don't matter if you got a job or not or whatever, like it sometimes it's hard to get your schedules aligned to like see when, you know, one person might be needing to go to bed but you're not off of work yet. Like, you know, so it's a struggle to find that balance. But again, I guess it depends on like the person that you're with. But it takes a lot of work. Relationships already take a lot of work, even if you're with that person in the same city and all that. But when they're halfway across the country or in another country, that's a whole different thing.
No, for real, absolutely. And I've been in two kind of situations like that, where one was just like West Coast to East Coast, and that 3 hour time difference, bro, that shit is not easy at all. And then, you know, I'm the type of person that takes naps, you feel me? So I'll be trying to take a nap after work, and this nigga was not with it. Like, he was like, well, I'm trying to go to sleep soon, so one of us got to sacrifice. I'm like, God damn. Like, you really gotta, I think what I learned too from that, because I was younger, I was like maybe 22, 23, that I wasn't really willing to sacrifice at that time. And I was like way less patient, where I was just like super not understanding of where he was in his work, and that he was traveling and moving, and at the end of his work that he's exhausted type thing, to the point where like a couple years later I even called him to apologize, because I ended up in the similar situation where I was the one that was busy and working and all this stuff and had less time for the person I was talking to. And it was like the weirdest thing to like have a 180 switch. And then in another scenario, I was in Adi, like when I first started like talking to this man. And when I'd say our communication was never better, like, and I think that had more to do with the fact that I was older, and like we both were way more self-aware and way more secure in who we were, that we weren't tripping off what the other person was doing.
I feel like there's pros and cons to both, like long distance and then living in the same state or whatnot. I feel like the pros is like, it keeps, for me, it seems like it keeps because I don't really have much experience. Like I feel like it keeps the relationship fresh, to where when you actually do get to see that person in the flesh, it's like meeting somebody for the first time type of thing. But as far as the cons of it kind of changes you. Like, I don't like being that chick, like, where I'm like, where are you at? How come you haven't texted me type of thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like. It changes your character for me. And I didn't like the way it was making me act. So as far as like long distance goes, I would say there's like pros and cons to it, but I wouldn't do it again.
I'm fed up with her. Hey, one, go ahead.
I think it really just depends on like how long, because like Ruta said, if it's one of those situations where you just know that you're going to be in this kind of situation for a couple months or whatever, then it definitely makes it easier to communicate, versus in a long distance relationship and you're just kind of like, okay, how long can we sit here and wait on this, or like how long are we going to continue to do this, or what's the next step? Then I feel like that's really where the strain comes from, because I've been in a situation like, oh boy was in Africa for months, you know what I mean? And we made it work. Like, communication was 130%. But that's the thing, is like, we also had something to look forward to, you know what I mean? We also had that, okay, you have 2 weeks left or 3 weeks left, and you kind of learn how to like adapt, versus you're sitting there for months and then a year where you're like, okay, we need to figure shit out, because I think I could plan my life with you, but we're on opposite ends. Where are we going to be? Where are we going? Are you coming here? Am I moving there? And that's just an awkward conversation, I feel like sometimes. So,
and that's where I wanted to take it. I was like, do you all feel like, to the hesitation as you get older, you like where you live? You know what I mean? Like, there's a hesitation of like, damn, am I gonna have to move? I feel like that question throws me off a little bit for long distance dating, because I've already moved from California to Denver, so like I'm not really looking to move again. And everyone keeps telling me, well, you never know, he might be, the one, and you might want to move there just because his job might be more stable and you might be more flexible in moving, or vice versa. First,
Wait, I have a quick question, and maybe you can answer it too. And this is like for the guys as well. Like, do y'all see a trend where like typically the men want the girl to move like with them to whatever state there is, or what do you guys feel like with that, or do you think it's the girls that want the guys to move to where they're at?
Nah, that's tough. You can't just expect somebody even as man to just want to move with you, just because you wanted to move to LA, just because you wanted to move to New York, right? At the end of the day, you are committed to a relationship and you're committed to that person, so you have to be able to really make a decisive decision that accompanies both what you guys are trying to do to be successful.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, face ass. But yeah, to answer Rahel's question, honestly, I don't have too much experience with it in like, just to keep it a buck with you, with experience like with homies needing to move out to whatever. But I bet you like the societal consensus would be that, yeah, I feel like maybe niggas would, because like following your partner or going to where your partner is, that could be seen as like that's like a feminine thing. You know what I mean? Like, for a nigga to be stable and his girl to come to him, like that's like a man thing, So I don't know, but I would bet if I had to. So for me, just keeping it a buck, unless we're to the point where we're talking about like I'm ready to propose to you, I'm not making any sacrifice or really compromise of that magnitude until we're there. Once we're there, if I'm being honest, I have like a really mathematical fucking computer science ass mind, so I work like this. Once we get to that point, you are my priority, right? Once you're my wife, or we're talking about that type of shit, is God is above you. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, you and me are pretty equal. And then if I'm keeping it a whole stack, my family and stuff might even be half a notch below that, So if we're moving to that, where it's like, you're my wife, bet we gonna have a conversation. Like, whose job is more based on their location, right? If she's a WNBA player playing for whatever team, wherever, then she can't just move. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in tech, so I see out there like a little more flexibility geographically with it. And that was a hilarious fucking, but whatever. So yeah, that's what it is for me. It gets to the point where are we? Because if we're just talking, or like Sally, if you're just like my girl, for me to like up and move, and even if you up and moved for a nigga that wasn't like there yet, I'm looking at you like, I don't know if I fuck with you. Like, I don't know if I would like want a woman who's out here ready to just bust a move for a nigga that nothing's even crucial yet. That's just my take. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm fucking weak. Gazi, did you have something to say? You were nodding your head a lot.
So, since I'm the old nigga, I got experience in this shit. So, I'll give you guys the exact situation. I agree with Neb and what he stated. Society's sense is very, you got to move where the man moves. And I think that plays into a big part of my situation and the female. The conversations that we were having was more of like, I'm like, okay, definitely, if we're going to plan on living somewhere, we should live somewhere where we have family. That's number one. Number two, finances, right? So financially, who's going to be the breadwinner? Am I able to find what I do there, and would I be able to be successful, or what would you be able to find what you do here, right? So it was looking like, hey, chances of you living here is good here. Cost of living in Vegas, as you guys know, is very cheap, So for me, it just made sense like to move to Vegas, but she did not want to move to Vegas. So culturally speaking, in the culture, because I had to learn this from my older sister, right? So she was like, girls are not supposed to go run after men, culturally speaking. Men are supposed to come to them in our culture. So for me, I was looking like, I'm new to this shit. I'm a shit nigga. I was raised as a nigga, So for me, it was more of a like, oh shit, I'm like, she's stupid, I'm not agreeing with her mindset. I'm not a part of the culture like that, so let me respect the culture, so I was like, hey, I get it, it's culture, whatever, I can come send Shamagale or send whoever I need to send, to your place, but if it's not beneficial for us to live there, yeah, I'm taking it there, man. Don't let this shit fool y'all, man. We know about Shamagale, okay? But uh, if we're gonna take it there, then my thing is, let's move somewhere where we both decide on. So for me, I feel like instead of her being genuine in the approach and compromising, she was so stuck on, no, you got to move here, because she was so worried about what people were gonna think versus just like, hey, let's move somewhere where it's gonna benefit both of us. You know what I mean? If you don't want to compromise, you don't want to come to Vegas because you're gonna be surrounded by my family and all of this and all of that. Let's go choose somewhere else. And that's very key. But the second story was dealing with long distance from back home. So what I noticed was the connection was bomb, but I met them back home, right? And so the connection was bomb, and I felt like, I almost for a second was like, damn, this might be the one. And I literally, no, I swear to God, I see you, Zeb. I literally, with my mom telling me, she was like, oh, you gonna get a girl from back home. And I used to be like, you got me fucked up. I would never. And then, for me, I love Habesha women. Like, Habesha women are good to me. But when I say Habesha women, I'm talking about Habesha Americans. Because I need a bitch that toot that thing up and make it roll and shit like that. Because I'm just that type of nigga. Just being real with y'all. If she making bunna, she got to shot a little bit for me to, stay engaged and stay interested. But for me, she was all of that. I wasn't expecting to find that type of female vibe in Ethiopia. But for me, where I lost the connection was understanding if it was genuine. So I know, Ned, you mentioned about, we didn't put you on game and stuff like that. But especially talking to females from back home, you don't know if they're really being genuine. And this is a different topic. But for me, I felt like she was really eager to come to America. So like even my cousins. Exactly.
She want a visa.
She want visa. But she, like, in my mind, I was just like, okay, like, we did a lot out there. Okay? So like when I was out there, I felt like she was my whole ass girlfriend. Like, she was somebody that did everything for me. You know, she met my dad while I was out there. There's very few females that I messed with that actually got to meet one of my parents. But for me, it was just like, as soon as I got to America, the connection started being different. And then I started questioning things. And then the last time I went back out there, the vibe was back on. But again, it was just like, I think everything that you guys were basing things on is the distance. So if you don't have strong communication skill sets, if you don't learn how to trust people, and if you are not able to connect without physical connection, long distance isn't for you. So I really was trying to be quiet, but
I'm done. No, that's super dope. I like to hear everyone's answer on that.
Can I just ask one question? So this is based off of the lives and the other stuff that I was watching for these Habesha girls, because at the last live, one of the Habesha girls said, Habesha niggas are scary and they don't shoot they shot, right?
I'm confused, brother. I'm confused.
Which a lot of you guys agreed. I saw all of that. But my question is, when's the last time y'all Habesha women shot at?
Because
That's
Shorty's
fact.
back home.
Because,
Shorty's back home. Be shooting.
Yeah, let me finish though. Because it's 2020. You guys can't pick and choose like what you guys choose to be empowered in. I'm somebody that like feels like women can do anything men can do. I'm a believer of that. I'm a supportive man to all my women. I think you guys are, especially Habesha women, you guys are all queens to me. You guys are all like, obviously you guys mentioned that we put you guys on a pedestal, obviously. But at the same time, I've never had a Habesha girl ever come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, nigga, yeah, I'm trying to get at you." They will stare from far away. They'll give hints. They'll do whatever they need to do. They'll come up on you, get you like guala, dance with you all night, type shit, but never be opened up. But then you guys wonder why we be so wrapped around these African Americans, these white girls, these other females, and this is being straight up because they approach me. So when they approach me and I start connecting with them, y'all looking at us like we're scary, but for me, I'm like, when's the last time have y'all shot y'all shot?
Woo! Flag on the play. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
And we're
okay,
waiting to hear some
no.
shit.
Woo, you ready? It's like, no, I'm not scared to shoot my shot. I have not with a hobby shot man because I haven't found one that I was attracted to. Let's be honest. I mean, it's a new thing, okay? So I have shot my shot, just not in the right group yet. So I'm not scared. Let's get that out there. I don't think there's anything wrong with females trying to go for what they like and see, because it just shows like you about your shit, you know? So I can't really answer that because I'm about my shit.
You better already know the Real Housewives of Tigray. You feel me? We in here, okay? We in here. We be shooting. And to answer your question specifically, I definitely shot my shot last month. You feel me? And we're not gonna talk about
You
where it
from the
went.
Bay though?
I know we
Yeah.
had this whole talk. I'm definitely from the Bay, and we move a little different.
Yeah, y'all move a little different, but I know Denver girls, they're not shooting shots.
Well, I'm from Seattle, so that doesn't count.
I'm weak.
Okay, hey,
Ryan,
one.
Sally, are y'all shooting shots?
I'm shooting
depends,
shots.
like,
I'm like Kobe.
No.
I'm shooting
No.
shots. I ain't scared. Who said no?
You niggas shooting pump fakes. Y'all niggas are pump fakes.
Oh, you a damn lie.
You niggas
Neb,
dribble all
tell
day.
Hey now.
My
Damn
niggas are rolling
lie.
dice. My niggas
I
are
think
rolling
it just
dice.
depends on
Okay,
the
wait,
person
everybody.
and like what you're
No.
looking for.
They rolling
And I
dice.
mean, if you're interested,
Exactly.
why not? Like, if you're not, like, I'm not gonna waste my time and try to shoot at somebody that, like, if I feel like it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Hey.
Like,
The girls who said they shot their shots, you don't have to get specific, but I want to know what you mean, because when we say shoot your shots, I feel like you niggas mean you like two pictures, or you
Exactly.
like walked by the nigga and just
Exactly.
you walked by the nigga and fucking said
Expected him to talk to you.
I think I gotta let you know what type of real nigga I am. Real nigga alert. I think I need to let y'all know. Meaning face to face, what's up? I'm trying to talk, and they still didn't get the hint. And I was like, hey, I'm shooting my shot. It was awkward. I left.
He's Habesha though? Zeb, he was Habesha? Exactly. I'm talking
No,
about
but I
Habesha.
said that. But I said that though. I said I haven't found one yet. If I do and he doesn't approach me, I will definitely approach him, and I will let y'all know how that goes.
I know, but you proved my point. So you guys can't say Habesha niggas is scary on shooting their shots if you haven't shot your shot. You know what I mean? So my question is, why are
Gazi,
Habesha
wait.
girls so scared to shoot
No.
their shot?
She
Neb, speak on it.
just because she didn't shoot her shot at a Habesha guy, in which she told you that she hasn't found one that she's shooting worth shooting her shot at, doesn't mean that she's scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of the fact, like for me, if I like somebody, it don't matter if you Habesha, black, white, Japanese, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm feeling you, I'm gonna let it be known that I'm feeling you. You feel me? I don't know what type of girls y'all be messing with, but over here, ain't nobody scared. Okay, maybe it's the Scorpio in me. I just don't care. You feel me? Like, I'm like y'all said too. I ain't gonna block my blessings, but I just haven't found one. Agazi, you making the face, but you know how I am. I speak my mind.
Sally, me and you go out all the time, Sally.
Agazi, you don't bring me around anybody that I would look at.
Stop it.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Stop it. We go out all the time. There's been Tigray. Listen, this is where you be like, who's that, Agazi? Who is that? Well, then, bitch, go talk to him.
No,
so if you think
bitch.
he's cute from far away, go talk to him. Exactly.
No, Agazi.
Wait,
Agazi.
no, let me say one more thing. No, let me respond to what you were saying. Just one thing, and then I'm gonna let you talk. So, real quick. So, you guys are saying that you guys are shooting your shots, right? And just like what your sister said, this is all from the premise of we don't date Habesha men, right? So, if she's never shot her shot at a Habesha guy, why would a Habesha guy shoot their shot at her? But yet, you guys are claiming not to date Habesha men. Like, dog, like, come on, Sally. When I first met you, Sally, you said to me, I don't date Habesha men. I like niggas with dreads. I like niggas that play football. I like niggas like, nah, nigga. I remember specifically.
Oh, Gazi, you for real?
Okay,
I swear to God.
Pause.
We can cut.
Have you?
Cut
Okay.
this shit out.
No.
I've
never.
Me. Ruto was on the same wave.
Listen, I've never.
My nigga got receipts.
If anything, I probably talked to
That's
more
true.
Habesha guys in here than anybody else. If anything, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100, right? Can I get
No,
some?
you haven't. Sally, you picky as fuck, Sally.
Can I
First of
get an
all, you don't
amen?
talk to nobody. You don't talk to
Can I
nobody.
get an amen?
Okay.
Hey.
Y'all.
No,
y'all,
it's
y'all.
Talk to
real.
nobody, Sally.
It's real.
Like, can I
Look,
talk? Pause.
Hey,
Both
no,
of
no,
y'all,
no,
I'm
no.
about to put y'all on mute.
Ask
Hold on.
Zeb. Ask Zeb.
I'm speaking for me. She has talked to a lot of Habesha guys. She's tried. I give you that. But we have all started somewhere. We're not okay. Personally, I've never said Habesha men are scary. I've never said this. They've just never approached me. I don't know if it's in my demeanor. I'm keeping it 1,000 right now. They have never approached me. If they have their fobs and they don't know how to come correct, I don't like that. You're gonna come correct. Period. But I haven't had anybody try. So I wasn't attracted to them. Just like I said in the other video, if they're not coming for me, I'm not going to be checking for them. I'm sorry. Like, I'm coming for people who are coming for me, period. That was then. Now I'm like, okay, but I haven't shot my shot because I haven't found anyone attractive yet, period.
Okay, let me go to Haywan because she's been patient before
Ugly?
Doublemint
So
twins
we
start
all
fighting
ugly?
with each other.
We all ugly?
No. No,
So we all
no,
ugly?
no. There's
No.
levels
I didn't
to
say
it.
that.
Okay, come on, Haywan, come in.
Okay, there's like two things because I don't know if one, you guys are really adamant about shooting shots as women, but a lot of women aren't on that wavelength. So I get what like the boys are saying on that aspect of a lot of women aren't shooting shots. And especially for me, I mean, one, I am super young, like compared to everybody else. So like I feel like that mentality does change once you get older of like, why the fuck would I like wait around and like sit around and wait for a nigga, especially if I know what I want. I understand that. One, but two, and like also, you know what I mean? When you're in a relationship, you're not really looking, like you're not thinking about shit like that. So I get that I might not be in a position to say I'm out here shooting shots, right? What was the guy saying with, Habesha niggas are scary? It doesn't matter though. Like, just because a girl's not shooting shots, like this whole women shooting shots is very new. You feel me? And so like in the sense of like very new of being like people are more comfortable with it now. I guess what I'm like more women are being comfortable with shooting shots of like, okay, that's not just a man thing to do versus that's not been the culture. It's normally been men go out and shoot shots and like, you know what I mean? They chase after women. So that still stands to the point where Habesha niggas are still scary when it comes to shooting more scary. I don't like that word. I've never used it and I didn't. But to the point of, yeah, I hella feel the girls on what they were saying of, I've never been approached by a Habesha man. So you feel me? Like if I'm being approached by, I said this before, I think on live or on FaceTime with the girls where I was like, if I'm being approached by 10 niggas and none of them are Habesha, I'm not going to sit around and check everybody off because they're not Habesha. Like my relationship, he wasn't Habesha. Granted, he was still in the East and like culture-wise, it was very, very similar. But like, why would I just sit around and wait for a Habesha nigga?
Okay, let me respond to that real quick. I know I'm just cutting people off, but I just want to real quick, P1. So based off of what you said, okay, I can see your point of view, but you guys can't decide. If you guys are saying the people that are coming towards you are the ones that you're shooting shots at, that's the same thing we're doing. If black girls are coming at Agazi, I'm giving you my personal experience. And I just stated that Habesha girls have done good to me. I'm not a hurt nigga where I'm saying y'all girls are this. I've dated nothing but Habeshas. Y'all, I dated Habeshas. Like, you know, I've been in that scenario, but I've been the one chasing. I gotta shoot shots. I'm not scary. I'll be in your face. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Habesha Americans, you guys. So at the same time, studies show that nowadays women are approach men, and that's in all races, more than men are approaching women. Why? Because women are becoming more empowered. So when you guys are becoming more empowered, you guys can't pick and choose. So let me give you guys a positive. Night girl, you guys are more inclined to be like, oh, I'm gonna go half on this, or I'm gonna pay for you. Like dating you guys is way easier in my opinion when it comes to things like that. So that's a positive. But in a negative aspect, you can't be calling Habesha guys out and saying, oh, y'all not shooting shots. And even if you don't use the word scary, you know, maybe you can say like they're not as aggressive as Black Americans. But of course, we're not aggressive as Black Americans. We have a different culture. We see you guys on an everyday basis. You don't have a sister I grew up with. I have a mama who's bomb as fuck. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, what makes you guys special? What's making you guys stand out? You guys got to know that, hey, we got to shoot shots too. If we want to be with a Habesha guy, you guys can't just rely on Habesha niggas coming at y'all. y'all probably don't feel me, but
Real
whatever.
quick, just 4 seconds.
I
4
think you
seconds.
spoke a little facts. Okay, Nebby, go, and then I'm gonna go.
Yeah, real quick, just one point. I have other shit to say, but if y'all are gonna call it scary or we don't shoot our shot, but you also then on that same, the flip side of that same coin, you got to be able to say like, yeah, I also do get that we call each other cousin growing up. I do get that he dated one of my friends, so he don't know how to approach me about that. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna call it scary, you got to acknowledge that too. Boom. That's all I'm gonna say right now. But hey, we're not scared, goddamn.
I was gonna say that too, and Agazi hit it. I hit it on the boys episode, and I think I even mentioned on the girls episode. Because of how we see each other, like growing up in the culture, it does make it that much more awkward. I think the men that have been approaching me, Habesha and non-Habesha, are the ones that don't have that direct relationship to me or know someone who knows me. So they're less like, like they're not hesitant because, if it fails, it fails. It's not like it doesn't really matter to them. But I feel like everyone has valid points. And I think that we're all, hit us in the chest a little bit. Everybody a little passionate about it. It's not bad. I think to move us forward, at least, yes, it is becoming more acceptable for women to shoot their shot. It's more encouraged. It definitely is. Like, you see it on social media all the time. Like, you can't, what is it? Like, you miss all the shots you don't take, whatever. You see shit like that all day. And then we girls are encouraging each other too. Like, girl, you think he's cute, let him know, because we also are recognizing that it's hard for a guy to shoot all the time because rejection is a real thing. And like, if you deal with rejection so much, like you're not really trying to shoot no more. You're gonna be like a little bit more picky. You're like, let me see if I'm gonna shoot this shot and like there's actually more of a chance that she's gonna be receptive to it, rather than when you were younger, you're just shooting blankly because you haven't had as much rejection,
And
so
I said
was
I said that in the our episode. I said that I give them a lot of props.
absolutely, because we do recognize that, and maybe that is to Haywan's point also, like us getting older and realizing too that like this is a two-way street. A relationship is a two-way street, so it does benefit us to also let the man know like, hey, I'm interested in you, and make it easier for him to approach us. Because I hear a lot of on both sides that men want to like chase or whatever, they want to like do that, but they also don't want to keep doing it blindly and like not getting any feedback or not having women be receptive to it. So it is definitely a two-way street. I think we need to be more than a little subtle with what Nebu's saying in terms of the, oh, let me go follow you on social media and like your pictures. That shit to me is corny, bro. Go ahead. As if I know you're on mute, but I know what you're saying, because that shit is mad corny. It happened to me, and it's just like I don't even know how to move that way. Like, it's just strange, bro. But just to kind of calm everyone down, I feel like everyone had valid points, and there's a way to communicate it. Sally, come on in.
Look at it as this. Like, I feel like it starts from when you're younger, right? I remember one of the episodes, I think it was one of the episodes, or it was on live or something like that, when somebody was talking about going to a guayla, like that's where you see the girls and stuff like that. Whatever. I don't know if you guys went to any schools with Habesha guys that go there, but it's always like a friendly thing, like haha, like a schoolgirl, schoolboy type of thing. And then it feels like you're friend zoned, right? And I feel like that's where it starts. And then when you get older, you see these Habesha guys like dating black girls, dating Asians, Mexicans. So you feel like, okay, they're not checking for you until you're in a setting like a Habesha setting, like a hookah bar or whatever. And then they're checking for you, at the hookah bar. But then outside of that, you don't hear from them. I feel like let's be consistent and in the way we approach Habesha women and kind of showing interest, because to us it's like, okay, it's like playful friend zone type of thing. That's how it was growing up for me, until I'm in a setting like a hookah bar, or I'm at a party and then we're dancing together and we're vibing, and then you get my number, and then from there is whatever. Are you looking my way? What's going on? Like, are you attracted to Habesha women, or is it like a phase?
Sally, can me and you have a dialogue real quick? So we're gonna put this in some real terms, like real life terms, right? So we're gonna take me and you for an example. We are good friends. You're my sister, all of that, right? So me and you are in friend zones, right? This is a brother sister love, right? So if you never like, I don't understand. I think it's more of a, it's not a we problem. I think it's more of a you problem. Like those of you that feel like people are friend zoning you, I think you have to be aware of how to shoot your shot. You get what I'm saying? So for me, if I like somebody, I'm gonna for sure make it aware. Like I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm trying to get at you. Like I'm gonna be on her bumper. You know what I mean? So she's gonna know. So if she
Actually,
tells me like
not everybody is like you though. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you approach that with Habesha women, it's not speaking for the majority. You're different. Like
you're right.
There's guys
You're
in
right.
here that are completely different the way they approach Habesha women, because you guys actually are attracted to them. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is, when are you gonna start holding yourself accountable for your actions and what you're doing? That's all I'm asking. So I'm not saying everybody.
What am I doing?
So what you're doing, you're claiming that all these Habesha guys are in friend zones. If you don't want him to be in a friend zone, you communicate and say, hey, I like you, and hey, I think we should be more than friends. And if that doesn't work, then you understand that he's not feeling you. Like, baby girl, he's just not into you. He's just not into you. And then you got to move on. But again, I feel like sometimes females are so scared. What I'm saying is, I'm giving you a prime example, right? So say I was like, oh, I'm feeling Sally. All of a sudden, you're not going to get in like, oh, how's he feeling me? We've already established like a vibe. That's not how it works. Like, if I was feeling you, I would have to be like, hey, Sally, I'm feeling you. Like, I don't know if I can be your friend, but I think like, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Right? But then if you felt that way, would you do the same? Or would you be too scared to get hurt is what I'm saying. So that's just my question.
But I've never been in, I don't know, that's a sticky situation for me, because I've actually had guys that I've been really good friends with, and that they've approached me on some like, hey, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, hold on, you know, what you trying to do? You know, it just kind of, if I care, like for me, I wasn't feeling this guy on that type of level. But I've never.
So my question to you is, would that be considered shooting your shot? Because again, they're coming to you saying, hey, I know we're friends, but I'm gonna shoot my shot with you, right? Because honestly, I can see like in a perspective, like why wouldn't they shoot their shot with you? If these niggas are shooting their shots and you're saying no, and people know how he is. Like my perspective of Sally is you're picky, right? You know, you're not about to just go fuck with any nigga. But at the same time, how do you expect a nigga to come at you? How do you expect for a nigga to come at you and not be nervous that they're gonna get shot down? Get nervous that like, hey, she not gonna be feeling me. Like you don't give off signs. You're not giving off like, oh, I'm fucking with you. Like, nah, that's not how it is. And there's a lot of niggas that talk to me that be like, oh, I'm feeling Sally. Sally fire. Sally fine. Sally this. Oh, Sally down. Da 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 da. But in my head, I'm like, you better shoot your shot. I don't know what to tell you. You feel me? So are you missing your blessings or not?
I don't think I'm missing my blessings. I just know what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to settle for just anything because a nigga's shooting his shot. Like that's maybe not what I want at the moment. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me.
All right, boom. So yeah, this. So how about this? If y'all are real, help me then. Help me in this situation. I'm in this exact, like I'm not right now, whatever. But let's say I'm in this exact situation, right? I have no like, oh, if I don't know you like that, right? If I know of you or whatever, no issues. I'm shooting a shot. I'll do DMs. I'll do it in person. I'll send you a messenger pigeon. No issues. But once there's like a relationship there, that's where it starts getting funky, right? For all the reasons we touched upon a second ago about she's fucking friends with my older cousin. She's, like whatever, like, insert whatever Habesha community thing. How from the shorty's perspective, how should I do that? How, you know what I mean? Because I've done it, and it's also, and it's, if I'm keeping it a stack, I've seen it go bad and go good. I've seen it be like where the girl's like, yo, I'm not really feeling it, and it's straight, and they're still homies, and that's what we want in an ideal world. But I've also seen it where it's like, yo, I'm feeling you, and then it's and then everything is donezo. Like, it's just, now we got friend groups fucked up, and you can't kick it with this nigga. Like, this person hit me up, told me to come to this party, but who's gonna, so how, like, that's the issue. How do we solve that? You know what I mean? Like, how do we do that? As a nigga, how would I, you know what I mean? Like, let's fix it then. What's up?
Well, so I mean, I see you guys' points, but also, like, I'm just gonna really agree with Sally because I've had this experience before with somebody like I was cool with, like grew up with, out of nowhere kind of shot their shot, but like even the way they did it wasn't really upfront in the beginning. And then I sensed it, but like I couldn't pinpoint exactly like if this was where like he was trying to make it go to. But I already felt uncomfortable right away because I feel like if I was interested in that person, I could have been hopped on like a minute ago. Like, you know what I mean? But since I don't see that, it kind of made that relationship. I mean, like if I see that person, like it's cool. Like but I just had to let him know, like, hey, like, is this where you're going with this? And if you are, I just want to let you know, like, I'm not really comfortable with it. Like, I still got love for you, but this is not where I see things going. And I just had to be upfront about it.
Are y'all
But
are
I
y'all
just think,
homies? Is your relationship still the same? That's the question. Is your relationship relatively the same?
I mean, like when I see
That's
him
the
now, I mean,
issue.
like I'm gonna say what's up, but like it's gonna be like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have my guard down like before, if that makes sense, you know, because oh, you've already said like you like me, so you see me. So it's like, you know, obviously like I might move a little bit different. I hope they don't take it like in a way, but it's just like I'm gonna have to take a step back just because that's not how
Yeah.
I'm feeling, and I don't want to
We're doomed.
see it like,
We're doomed.
and I'm not gonna like mess with anybody's feelings, especially if I don't see it going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep that respect with you and keep it pushing. But going off like really with the girls and like shooting their shot, trust me, guys, like I mean, even if a girl is shy, like, and I know I'm shy, but if a girl is interested, she gonna let you know. Period. Like, even if she don't say it like up front in the beginning, like she gonna give you hints that she's interested. So y'all better be paying attention. That's all I gotta say.
Like, not every guy's in tune with females. They don't understand that, like, these little subtle things that you guys do, like Sally said, not everybody is the same. Not everybody's like the Gazi. Like, you know what I mean? For me, I feel like because I was raised by females, like I was raised around and I was hung out, I understand what you're saying. Like, you're 100% right. Like, so for me personally, I get it. Like, you know, I understand what it means to, like, oh, she give me that vibe. So she might not have to shoot her shot, but oh yeah, no, she feeling me. Like, oh, if I wanted to like go in, I could probably, you know, we can talk, we can make something happen. But what Ned is saying is, how can you guys be more clearer? And that's what we're saying. We are saying be more clear. And you know, and like I made a mistake. Habesha girls have shot their shots. Um, but at the same time, I feel like the same example that you guys gave me, it was more of a like we grew up together. The situation was like kind of like we were drunk. Something happened. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it kind of took me back, and I kind of thought of it like, bitch, we cousins. Like we cousins. Like how you gonna try to grab me over there? Like that's not how we get down. Like you know what I mean? So for me, I was kind of like back the fuck up. You know what I mean? But again, she was clear as fuck. You know what I mean? So are you guys comfortable being more clear?
That's the issue, right? So Rahel, what you're saying, and I get it, that's a perfect situation. Like you don't have to say yes to any house nigga that shoots a shot, right? Just because a nigga shoots a shot and he's a nice person doesn't mean you owe him. But that's the issue though. If y'all's relationship is now like messed up or even slightly touched, like can you imagine if y'all were closer than what y'all were originally, right? Like what if like Agazi was saying, I called you my cousin, right? On some weird shit, and like we grew up and grew out of that or whatever. But it's like, you know, we grew up calling each other cousins, and then I shoot my shot, and then now, bro, like this fucked up a lot of shit, you know, like the risk and reward isn't necessarily there. So for me, I could see how maybe somebody could say I'm scary or whatever when it comes to people who are like in that close, like we grew up together kind of, right? Which are the perfect candidates to marry in the first place, which makes it all the way fucked up, you know? So how do we solve that? If it affects relationship, and then if like larger it, like what do we do, goddamn?
No, I think first things first, like we got to stop comparing the way a Habesha woman or a man approaches a certain situation, like shooting their shot, you know, per se. Like we got to stop comparing. Like for let's just take me for example. If I'm not necessarily going up to a guy and be like, "Yo, what's up? I'm feeling you," whatever. I don't have to necessarily do that. I could do subtle things like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go hang out. Agazi, I can't see your face. You know, like I feel like let's just stop comparing. Like like Rahel said, maybe some of us are a lot more shy than others. You feel me? Like if a girl is like trying to sit next to you, like she's sitting over there, she moves over to sit next to you. That's a subtle way of showing like she's interested. You feel me? Like, or she's having conversation. What, Agazi?
Sally, just continue.
You can't just compare what a black girl does because she's more upfront, or that doesn't make it seem like that we're not trying to holla at y'all because we do it in a different way. That's just my thing. Like, take it for what it is. Like a Habesha girl, not all Habesha girls are gonna be like, oh, what's up? What's your name? That type
But
of thing.
Sally,
Pay attention to the details.
nah, Sally,
Yeah.
unmute your stuff because then I definitely want to. I just got a quick question. So everything that you said was true. Then I would sit here and be confused as fuck. Be like, is Sally feeling me? Is she feeling me? Or is she really seeing me as a true friend? That what you're saying is confusing. Unless you pull me aside and be like, hey, Agazi, I know we friends, but and I don't want to mess things up, but I'm truly feeling you. If you're not saying that, and again, you got to understand that men and women are two complete different species. You guys are more in tune with y'all feelings, and niggas aren't. Some niggas are, majority, we are not. So we're not going to understand certain things that you guys get. You guys have unspoken rules amongst female friends that, like, for us as guys, we don't understand. Like, you got to be kind of like, basically like flatline, like, I like you, I fucks with you, like, I like you, for some of us to understand. And I'm speaking for, like, in general, for the men population, not personally for me. You feel me? Because I get what you're saying. Personally, for me, it wouldn't confuse Agazi, right? So I get it, like, with what you're saying. But again, if I was like other men, then everything that you're saying, especially the way me and you are together, like how close we are, then I would be confused. I'd be like, what does she mean? You know what I mean? We have conversations. We can talk for hours on end because we just have great dialogue. We like the same shit. You know what I mean? You like sports. I can talk to you about sports. I can talk to you about everything. Unless you were straight up saying, oh, Agazi, da 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 da. And the same way, if I started liking you, you would be confused as well, right? Unless I said, hey, Sally, I'm fucking with you. I like you a lot, da 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 da, right? You would never take it that way, right?
I think it also, I mean, I get what you're saying, Agazi, but at the same time, like girls, we might not say, oh, yeah, we like you, like, let's hit it off, let's see where this can go. But we're gonna be like, whether it's texting or being flirtatious, like, you're gonna get those hints, because nobody, like, if I have like a homie, he's the homie. He ain't gonna get like no type of flirtation, no type, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be more of like sisterly vibe, unless I give off that energy where he can like see that, oh, she's trying to take this a different route. And then I feel like eventually, it's, unless you're the kind of person that just says it straight up, is gonna get to the point where you're gonna both have that conversation, like, hey, this is where I'm coming from, like, are you receptive to this or not? Honestly, I think it's better to just, like, especially for the guys or girls or whatever, like, if you are feeling somebody like that, pull that person aside and be like, look, I want to see like where this can go, just so it don't get awkward or makes somebody feel uncomfortable, because you might try, because like my situation, I was saying, like, they asked me on a date, but I didn't know it was a date, just because I'd known that person for so long. I thought we're just kicking it, like, it's gonna be on some like cool shit. But during that like time, I was like, this seems a little off, because like they didn't tell me like, oh, this is how I'm feeling, until
Right.
I just had to listen until I had to figure it out. And then I was just like going in my head like, oh, I think this is where he's trying to go, so let me make it, like, put it straightforward out there, like, I'm not interested. And then I had to say that and just be real with it.
What I would like to say is that, having grown up with a lot of men around me, I just know men are very simple. Like, they say what they mean and they mean what they say. Like, there's no trying to guess, there's no hints, there's none of that stuff. Occasionally, if you do come across that, I feel like I've only seen it when they're younger and they're trying to figure out their own style of how they approach things, and they're trying to understand how like women are receptive. So as they like, the more they experience, I think the more straightforward they are. Actually, not simple in the bad way, Nebu. I'm saying simple as in like, y'all don't try to like, okay, let me throw a hint your way, let me see if she catches this hint. And us women, we do that. And I think that as we get older, we get better at it because we realize like how men are taking it and how they're not taking it. And they're like, bro, they're not picking up on these things, bro. And we talk to each other like, girl, don't do that. Like, just, you know, just do it this way. And to answer Nebu's question and advice of how he should approach it, I can only tell you what worked for me. Going from a friend situation to trying to turn it into a relationship, what I did was, hey, I don't want to make this awkward. I don't want to change the dynamics of our friendship. All I'm saying is that I feel like there's a little bit of tension here between us. And if it's mutual, like, I'm okay with exploring that if you're okay with exploring that. And if you're not, and I'm just feeling something that's not there, then that's cool and we can stay how we are. And for me, that worked. And he was feeling what I was feeling. So we pursued a situation. But you also have to gauge what kind of woman you're dealing with, because I know that for myself, like, I'm someone who can easily be like, okay, like, we can go back to being platonic. I'm not going to like look at you funny after, you know? But I think Rahel had the best point, is that like, don't take me out on a date and not tell me that it's a date. You know what I mean? Like, you do got to at least let me know, bro, like, I'm feeling you in a different way than what we're used to. And then give me the option to tell you at that point if it's not going to work.
I'm not gonna lie, yo. Shout out to all the Habesha ladies, man. Shout out to y'all. You know why? Because even though y'all may not tell us that you're trying to flirt with us, I like it. You feel me? I like the fact that they be looking one way than the other, and then you feel me? They expect me to come up and say some shit. You know, I'm cool with that. I'm that type of nigga. You feel me? I'm gonna pull up, be like, "What's good? I see you looking at me. I'm looking at you too, baby. You looking right." You feel me? So. I gotta keep it 100 at that point, but hey, for real though, I love the culture. I love everybody, man. I love the people. I love all y'all, man. And that's my last thoughts. Go
on. Just to wrap it up on the last part, I think that we shoot our shots, but we go to a certain extent. Like, I don't think I put myself there all the way out there, but you put it out there like, okay, I did my thing, but you don't want to go too far, because we that's why I gave you guys, the men, so much props in the last episode, because you guys do a lot and you take it and you keep the punches rolling. Like, I feel like, me personally, I couldn't take all those punches. Like, you'd probably be like, oh, I don't want to go in, and then I look kind of stupid because I won't try for a while. You know, you start to hurt your feelings and whatever. But men can handle that. I don't think females can. I think we can take it so far, and if you can't pick that up, it's like, oh, then you really not feeling it, because it's gonna be noticeable, but not like where you just can't see that shit. Like, it's clear, you know what I'm saying? So that's my last thoughts.
Hey, yo, I have to give a quick shout out to the Habesha Ladies episode. I thought y'all was finna come for our next, but I didn't see episode 2, so I'm talking a little prematurely. But shout out to y'all, y'all killed it. And yeah, definitely love y'all to death. So
Agazi's clapping too.
I love me my Habesha women. You guys are my queens. You guys are everything. Big facts. You know, the respect that I had. Don't roll your eyes, Sally, because you know how I feel. You even said it. You know how I respect y'all to the max.
It was a good eye roll. It was like eye roll, like I'm trying to keep the tears.
See, that was a hint. See, we got to know the shit like that.
Okay.
We got to know the shit like that. Is how it's done.
Yeah, that's a hint. That's a hint.
that shit you're talking about. That's that
tomorrow,
shit.
You free tomorrow? You free? You on the Skype? Looking ass.
Looking ass.
Shout out to all you guys. Like, for real, like, you guys really pull up the caliber of what it means to be a woman. And I'm not saying that just to butter y'all up. Like that's dead ass. Like, for real. Like, it's real talk. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep Habesha niggas on our toes, ball when it comes to being a woman, doing her thing.
All right, that's what I like. That's beautiful. That's how I like to end things. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I really appreciate everyone. I think this was a really dope conversation. Just like awesome real shit. The fact that like all of you, like I said in the beginning, really took your time out. I know this went longer than I thought it was gonna go. To be here and support the podcast, like, I really, really appreciate all of you. So thank you for that. On the reunion, we are out. The cast is done.
Oh.